Yo, yo, yo. Y'all already know who this is. It's your dog Redux What Is. And this is going to be way off schedule because this wasn't even planned until last night where I was playing Devil May Cry 5, the special edition with Vergil. And I was playing as Vergil and I was like, yep, I already know what I'm going to do as a script. So I'm going to be bringing to you guys a different type of what ifs, and I barely see it around. Well, I was looking on YouTube to see if anybody else did it, and they barely do it. So I'm going to be bringing y'all what if Tatsumi had Yamamoto, aka Vergil's sword. And the way I'm going to be doing this is that before we get into it, I'm going to let y'all know a few things. Yamamoto is an Imperial Arms, but it's only exclusive to Tatsumi. And he will have Incursio, so he will be wielding 2 Imperial Arms, but you'll just gotta let me cook for now. And he will get access to Vergil's other weapons and abilities when he later unlocks those powers. Sorry, I had to take a milk break. I don't feel too good, and somehow milk makes me feel better. It temporarily settles my stomach for about a good 3 or 4 hours. So if you hear me drinking time to time, I'm just drinking milk. So without further ado, let's get into the what if. Oh, and you might be hearing smooth jazz in the background. So yeah, hope y'all enjoy that. Woo, this milk be hitting for real. All right, we start this what if off in another universe. Vergil and Dante fighting Eruzin, aka Vergil's darker half. I think I got that right. But they fight him, and as they're close to defeating him, Dante pushes Vergil out the way of a fatal blow. No, Vergil pushes Dante out of the way of a fatal blow, and Vergil's not going to make it this time. He's had a good run for millennia to come, but this time it's officially the end of the duo and how both brothers will now be lost. Vergil starts coughing up blood as he... Dante, I didn't think it would end like this. As Dante is in utter shock how Vergil would do that. He wasn't expecting it, so he rushes to Vergil's side. He was like, Vergil, why? He was like, out of all my time of trying to see your motivation and see if you could defeat me, I've become to grow softer. And I'm starting to realize maybe that isn't such a bad thing after all. As Dante was like, please don't go. He told him, I'm not gonna leave. I'll just be moving on to better things. And as he was fading away fast, he whispers to Yamamoto, instead of being power hungry and trying to find and take power, to be selfish for moralless reasons, go out and find somebody who's willing to use power to protect the ones that they love and bring justice no matter what it is. As he sends Yamamoto off into the void of him slashing and opening portals through dimensions and stuff. So he sends Yamamoto off, and we cut to the Akame ga Kill universe 20 years before Tatsumi was born. Let's say 20 to 30, maybe 25 years before Tatsumi was born. Tatsumi's father, which is unknown as we don't really know his name, right? Let's just say his name was Yonko or Yuko, right? Yuko was a soldier, and he needed an Imperial Arms one night when he was guarding his base. You know, he was doing his perimeter checks, and a blue beam flashed and struck down on the ground near him, blasting everything away, basically including himself. As he gets up, getting up, feeling a little hazy because he just got knocked back and probably got a concussion, but his will to stay alive is burning since he got a wife at home, you know, about to deliver Tatsumi soon. He stumbles into the crater as he sees Yamamoto standing there. Well, not standing there, but in the ground, buried, with the katana standing straight up perfectly. He walks towards it, and he wonders what kind of Imperial arm it is, since Yamamoto in this universe is an Imperial Arms. And I'll explain that later once we get to Tatsumi, when we cut to Tatsumi later on. So he picks up Yamamoto, and he grabs it and feels a rush of power just coming to him. But since he's like, you know, good, it won't corrupt him and leave him in like a, you know, vegetative state. That's what I'm gonna just leave it as, you know. If Yamamoto doesn't deem you worthy, you'll get corrupted, I guess. Or there has to be certain events where Yamamoto may allow you to wield it. So, yeah. So he takes Yamamoto, and he takes the katana out the hill as he starts, you know, slashing it back and forth, and he sees a trail of blue light with some little particles of crystals following it behind. And he noticed the significance of how fast he could, you know, swing his sword, as when he brought it to his first stage, which is unsheathing it, and he gets like a, you know, a power boost and a speed boost. Like, let's say 25% of Vergils speed. So he has his Imperial Arms, and he uses it for the war. And he uses it for the war that happened, let's say, about 5 years later. And as he was getting mollywopped on the battlefield by other Imperial Arm users, he made a dying vow as he is getting surrounded by Imperial Arm users with guns, swords, even shields. He says, "I need more power. Yamamoto, if you can hear me, grant me more power. I just want to see her dying." Not her dying face. Why did I say that? I just want to see her face again. And my son. As blue energy starts swirling upon him, and he triggered the devil trigger. Not the sin devil trigger, but the devil trigger, as he transforms into this like Incursio type armor, but it's not. They think it's like a Grand Chariot Incursio armor, but it's not. So he transforms, and he's like destroys basically everybody on the battlefield. But after that, sadly, the Sin Devil trigger cost his life, because he was already fading from the battle, and he was already bleeding out. So Yamamoto did keep him alive just to finish everybody off, and they won the war. As before he deactivates the devil trigger, he sheaths the sword and tells his long-life best friend to pass this on to Tatsumi, as he won't be able to make it back. And so he took the sword, and let's just say that Tatsumi's mother passed away while giving birth to him. And he survived, but he didn't. So he's getting taken care of by the village elders. And, you know, he looks at Yamamoto as he was a baby and he was a toddler. He was walking around, and he stumbled upon Yamamoto. He touched it, and Yamamoto deemed him worthy. So he didn't get like any crazy ideas or anything Yamamoto likes Tatsumi. So we're gonna time skip into like 15, 16 years, I believe. I don't know how old Tatsumi was. I think he was still in his teens. I'm gonna say 17 to be on the safe side, maybe 16. 16, 17, I'll go with one of those. But yeah, he's that old as, everything originally goes to canon. How he slays the Earth, the S-Class, not the S-Class, the first class, Earth Dragon Danger Beast? Yeah, everything goes to canon, except that he has his, before in Curcio, he has his original sword before he got in Curcio, and Yamamoto on the side, as he can't pull Yamamoto out the hilt because he hasn't accessed that yet. It's in stages, right? That's what his father's wish to Yamamoto was: protect my son, and when he's ready, allow him to use your power. And he's not ready so far. But since he is, synced to Yamamoto, he does have like an extra speed boost, and he has a speed boost and a power boost overall. So like he's like at base level, he's like at 19% of Vergils speed, which is pretty fucking fast, to be honest. So yeah, he's gonna be broken off the bat, kinda. But I will make him broken, trust me. We like broken characters around here. We like OP characters around here. So everything goes to canon. He gets to the capital, and he goes to the army sign-up area where he said he deserves to be captain. He gets kicked out, and that's where he unknowingly meets Leilani, as, she finesses him, thinking that he'll be able to get in the army because she quote-unquote knows somebody. When Leilani hit the nastiest jug I've ever seen in my life, Tatsumi got finessed that day. And so, time skip, he goes broke. And, he's out on the street, like in canon, and he gets picked up by Arya, who offers to take him in. And unknowingly, thinking that the Empire isn't so corrupt after this nice deed, he goes and takes her offer. Time skip a little, after midnight, he goes to the home, and he tells Arya's parents that he is willing to make a name for himself in the capital. And while doing that, he's looking for his two friends, Sayu and Niesu. And he tells them a backstory, how they both got attacked by bandits, and they were decent fighters, so he wasn't worried. He just wants to find them and, make sure they're safe and sound. So after they offer to help him find his friends, time skip, everything. No time skip. Everything goes to canon. How he goes shopping with Arya, and then the guard tells him that the Empire is actually very corrupt. But being Tatsumi, he still wanted to give a benefit of the doubt. Time skip to at night. You see Arya's mother talking about, the experiment was successful, and how she likes this little hobby of hers, as she gets she gets cleaved in half by a giant pair of scissors. And for my Akame Got Killed fans, you already know who those giant pair of scissors belong to. As that happens, Tatsumi wakes up and he says, "Danger, somebody's here." And he starts running. He gets his sword along with Yamamoto, and he runs down the hall as he sees black hair wave in the air. As he stops and look, and he sees strings connected holding 5 members of Night Raid, since, Shell is inside the mansion at the moment. And so he was like, "No, is that Night Raid?" As he sees the guards coming out to defend Arya, as, they're going to get clapped, obviously, since everything is going to canon so far. with the exception of Yamamoto being there so far. And so Tatsumi makes his way outside since he feels like he has an obligation to help or try to do something at least. As he goes and starts running into the forest, and he finds Arya along with the guard that was guarding her. And so he tells him that he needs to try to hold off Night Raid as long as he can so he could get her to safety, as that's when he sees Akame and she looks menacingly as usual. He sees her dark, piercing red eyes, as Tatsumi was like, dang, she's kind of beautiful. As she speeds blitzing basically, and cannon things. She says he's not a target, as she mollywops the guard, dodging a bullet and slices him in half basically. And that's when Akame was going to rush at Arya, but Tatsumi stopped it in time. And that's when we see Tatsumi take out his sword along with Yamamoto in the other hand. Yes, sir. He fighting like Vergil. Unknowingly. I'm a cook for y'all. So she tells him once again that he isn't a target, and if he's defending her, then that makes you another target now. And he says that Akame is better, but he has Yamamoto on his side. And so they begin to fight as they first run into each other and they clash swords, as Akame wasn't like taking him too serious. We all know how Akame gets when she's serious. And so she backflips over him, kicks him in the back, and then tries to stab him. But that speed boost that I told y'all about with Yamamoto, kicked in as Tatsumi sidestepped it. And then he tried to strike her with Yamamoto with the sheath on, and she blocks it. And then they start getting it. They started exchanging sword strikes and stuff, clashing. And that's when Tatsumi used this other sword and tried to do, a drive. If y'all Devil May Cry fans know what the drive is, he tried to thrust his original sword along with the Yamamoto, coming with the overright strike, coming down with the sword with Yamamoto, right? And she dodges it as she realizes that he's a lot faster than what she anticipated, because his 19% speed boost that Yamamoto grants is let's say 45 to 50% of Akame's speed. And so she decided to kick it up a notch, and she started low-key speed blitzing him, but she couldn't hit him because his movements were so spontaneous, as it seemed like he just leaves after images when he dodges sometimes. And so she fakes a strike as she fakes out a strike as she hits Tatsumi in the chest where the statue was protecting him. And as he gets back up, he asks her why did she not commit to the strike, and she said that she felt that she hit some armor, which was true. And he was saying that the villagers were looking out for him after all, as Lane was watching all of this, and she was surprised how fast Tatsumi was moving, and more interesting, the sword that he had, as Akame asked him if that was his imperial arms. And he said it was. Well, he didn't really. Hold on. He doesn't know it's an imperial arms. He says that no other person in his village can wield it but him, and it was a sword passed down by his father. So he really doesn't know what she's talking about at the moment. And so they go back at it again, and that's when Tatsumi was really about to get clapped, but Leilani pulled her away and said that she owes him a favor. And then Tatsumi was like, hey, you're the girl with the booze. And she was like, I get that a lot. And, everything goes to canon. How Leilani exposes Arya for all those experiments that she was doing. And she tried to say that she didn't know what was going on when he saw Sayu hanged up. And then that's when Ieyasu called out to Tatsumi, saying that they got drugged when they got drugged, and they like to take people from off the streets because they don't think that nobody will ever come looking for them, as they got drugged. And Ieyasu saw Arya torture Sayu to death every day. And then that's when she, of course, goes on her rant about why she did it. And then as Akame was about to kill her, that's when Tatsumi responded, as he felt Yamamoto's presence, as this, like, him being in such a volatile and angry state, which isn't like, one of the stipulations for drawing Yamamoto right now, but it's an exception. He drew Yamamoto and sliced her clean in half, as he was able to do it. And he flipped the blade, obviously, cleaning it. And then he felt like more power coming into him as he was able to use Yamamoto out the sheath now. Well, not really, not yet, but he sheathed it back, and then it became unusable now, for now. And so, everything goes to canon how Ieyasu dies, and that he was carrying his body, and that's when Leilani dragged him away, and she told him that she was going to go get the body so he could give him a proper burial later. And so he gets on the roof, everything goes to canon, Bullock grabs him, and he starts his fruity batooty shenanigans. But he's still the GOAT, though. Still the GOAT. And that's when we fade to black as Night Raid jumps off the roof and into the shadows. And then we pan back to a scene that his father was practicing with Yamamoto, as he was able to use some of the special abilities like Mirage Blade, and he figured out that there was a multiple selection of weapons that he could use, and Tatsumi will have access to those, as he was thinking to himself, when he's done, he could pass this on to Tatsumi. And he wanted to see how far he could get, to see if he could get stronger with Yamamoto than he ever could, because he knows there's untapped potential that Yamamoto has, but he's just not adequate enough to get it yet. And so that's when he sheathes Yamamoto back and puts it next to Tatsumi's future room, and we fade to black. And that's where we're going to be leaving off part 1 of this What If. I kind of came up with this script on the fly. I'm going to be real with you. I was walking and I was like scripting how everything was going to go. So far, since Tatsumi was able to draw it this time, his speed boost been moved up to 26%, a little faster than his pops. But when his pops get serious, he could get to 50 or 60% of Vergils speed. So he made a name for himself. And, the Capitol erased it, because he was there was a report about him. If you see a man in a blue cloak and dark clothing with a katana, do not approach him. It was a run on sight order, basically. So I'm trying to give his dad some cool ass dad lore for real. And it was somebody that even as Death herself said that she might have trouble with dealing with, but she really thinks that she could beat him. So hey, I'll let y'all conclude that. And you know what? When I finish the series, I might give a bonus what if, and Tatsumi's dad and SW do run into each other and fight. But that's when I finish the series. And if I get like 10 likes on this video, I will continue the what ifs for real. And even if I don't, 5 to 10 will still be good. Comment, like, subscribe, man. And I'm for part 2, before I go for part 2, I'm gonna make sure I could give like a rundown on what he'll be unlocking. So it'll be like in stages. Stage 1, just the sword. Stage 2, the sword and the spectral blades that Vergil could do. And then stage 3 will be like the Mirage Edge, like the spiritual sword that he could use along with Yamamoto, along with Beowulf. And then stage 4 will be like the Sin Devil trigger. But I'm going to cook with the Sin Devil trigger, so y'all just going to have to wait on that. So without that, I hope y'all enjoyed this what if. This is going to be like my first Akame got killed what ifs. And if this one does good, I might do more Akame got killed what ifs, because I don't see a lot of them around. And I just might base my channel on Akame got killed what ifs and occasionally do other animes. I should have put that in the channel updates, but you know, I was just like in the mood to do this. So without any further ado, this is your boy Redux What Ifs signing off. I will see y'all till next time. Peace out.